here's a look at one of our directory sites, HighLevelExperience.com/smart directory AI. It's super easy. I mean, literally, you just select the contacts that you want and you just add the tag business.
Just got fired, young family, you're trying to provide.
It's really hard to be desperate and not appear desperate.
Now it's like a logical next thing. It's like, hey, by the way.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's super easy to transition into anything that you want to sell because I don't do that mailer anymore. Now we sell
That's a lot of money. Now they're actually educated in this guy.
Yeah, and they listen to you. Like they have that conversation with you because you seem like a trusted person. You know what I mean? Do you know how many of them have asked me how much traffic my directory site gets?
Nobody?
That's right. Zero business owners ask that question.
Is there any niches that you've found working in particularly well with the directories?
That's a great question. There are two approaches when it comes to setting up a directory, right? One is a geo-targeted directory. So that's one where you have all kinds of businesses, but you're targeting a specific area. That's what I did in Hawaii.
Hey, high levelers, welcome back to another episode on the HighLevel Experience Podcast. Today, we've got a guest whose journey is nothing short of inspiring. This guy, he used to spend more than 55 hours a week as a corporate restaurant manager, stressed, exhausted, and missing out on time with his young family. After moving to Maui in 2010, he got fired just 8 months later, and that's when everything changed. Instead of going back to the grind, he decided to bet on himself. He built his first business from his kitchen table and never looked back. Since then, he's grown multiple seven-figure companies, taught thousands of entrepreneurs how to escape the 9-to-5 trap, and created real freedom for himself and his family. He's been broke, built back better, and now he's been making serious waves in the high-level community with his latest venture, Smart Directory AI, a SaaS-powered platform that's giving agencies a whole new revenue model to run with. Please welcome to the show, Tom Gaddis from Smart Directory AI.
Hey, how's it going, man? I love that intro. I used to like to say disgruntled restaurant. I've used that in some email copy. Former disgruntled restaurant manager.
Why is that? I mean, I've been in hospitality.
Because they fired me. That got me disgruntled.
Okay, so get it. Get it now, yeah. Okay, well... Let's dive into that, mate. You've run agencies, you build communities, you've been hosting a podcast, but I've got to ask, what itch were you trying to scratch when you launched Smart Directory AI?
So, Smart Directory AI is actually a tool for a strategy that I have been using for a long time. Actually, way before AI was even a thing. I think just the other day, my wife showed me this, this thing popped up in her Facebook feed, and it was a post that she shared in 2012. And it was basically a post of her saying, hey, my husband started this directory site and we're doing this mailer. And so I've been doing this strategy that we're going to talk about today since way back in 2012. And really, the itch I was trying to start with the strategy was getting clients. I'm on this island. I got fired from my restaurant job. I don't want to get a real job, so I'm trying everything I can to launch an agency. And I'm just meeting a lot of resistance when I reach out to people and I'm like, oh, I have a marketing company. And yeah, it's almost like when somebody walks in and you just know they're trying to sell you something and people are like, and even I'm trying to give away things for free, like, oh, I'll do this for free, I'll do that for free. Even then people are like, no, we're not interested. Just all of that kind of stuff was happening to me. And so I actually one day was talking to somebody and they had mentioned the website AARP, right? And they were telling me how AARP was one of the biggest insurance companies in the world. They sold insurance to seniors. And I was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me, I thought AARP was this free, I thought it was a government thing that they did for seniors, but it's not. It's a private company. They built this resource for seniors. And on the back end of that, they sell insurance to seniors. And I thought, man, that is genius. And I started thinking I wonder if I could do something like that in the agency space where, what if I were reaching out to businesses not as a marketing agency, but if I were reaching out to them in some other way that maybe was more like it was more helpful or provided more value or just kind of came kind of like a backdoor strategy, I guess I would call it. So
Mm-hmm.
at the time I was doing this direct mailer that I was sending out to 10,000 residents in Maui. And I had about 14 ad spots on those cards and I was filling those up. So I thought, like if I had a directory site to go along with this mailer, like I could use them both. Like I could use the directory to sell the mailer. I could use the mailer to plug the directory because it would go out, people would see it. And then I'm thinking about the AARP thing. And I'm thinking, hey, if I just started prospecting from the directory site, like, I wonder what would happen. So that's what I started doing. Instead of reaching out as the marketing agency, I started reaching out to businesses in Hawaii where I was living at the time. And I would just say, hey, my name's Tom. And so at the time, I'm a big believer of like proving your concept before you invest a lot of time in it. So I didn't even have a directory site because I knew building a directory site was going to take a bunch of time, right? Which is the itch that Smart Directory AI scratched to answer your original question. But this is kind of the long way to get there. But so since I didn't have time to build the directory site, I just put up an under construction page and I started reaching out to businesses and I said, hey, my name's Tom. I live here on the island. I'm in the process of building this local community site called thekindcoupons.com. Your business has a free listing on the site, but I just need to make sure I have all the information correct. You have a couple seconds. Is this your right business name, phone number, address, website? I just was verifying their information. And then at the end of that call, I would say, by the way, when I launch the site, I'm going to do a 10,000 piece co-op mailer as part of the promotion. But, I've got hundreds of businesses on the site, but I've only got space for 14 businesses on the mailer. It goes to 10,000 residents. It costs 5 cents per piece. So that's right. You get in 10,000 residents, $500. It's only $250 right now. Would you like to sign up? And I was just knocking those spots down like gangbusters, right? Because it was just such a natural transition. And I got zero resistance. Like no one hung up on me. No one told me to pound the pavement. It was just a really natural and comfortable call that ended up in a lot of closed sales. And so that was kind of the start of the process. And then since 2012, I've been refining that process, improving the techniques, the strategies, the outreach messages, and the tech. Because if you've ever tried to build a directory site, it is super, super frustrating. You can get caught in like just feature nightmares and it just takes forever. And then you got to worry about traffic and all this stuff. So I'd basically bypassed all of that. And Smart Directory AI is the latest iteration of that because it started using HighLevel in our business, really incorporating it. And so I thought, man, it'd be great if I could just have a directory site right in HighLevel and I could just run everything from inside my HighLevel account and do everything. And so that's what Smart Directory AI does. It allows you to build a directory site and run it all right through the HighLevel platform.
I love it. So let me unpack I hope you guys taking notes, but here is where I see the biggest opportunity of this, and you kind of mentioned it. So I'm just going to regurgitate. Yeah. What a word.
Yeah.
So
say that 3 times fast.
You said at the beginning, right? You were just got fired, young family, you're trying to provide, and now you're trying to make it, and you're desperate. And I don't know, like about you guys listening, but I've been in that spot as well. And it is like that. Like you go and you prospect, you talk to people, and it's not hitting. Like you're just falling on deaf ears. You're just feeling this wall of resistance. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think there's several things that come into play.
They can feel it. I think they can feel it. They can
yeah,
feel
I mean,
like
I
you're
think
desperate.
that's part of it. Part of it is when you're desperate. Like it's really hard to be desperate and not appear desperate, right? Yeah. And so you're like, and you're just trying anything you can to like you just seem just like you said. I think they can sense that. That's one thing. I think the other part of it too is just, I mean, I don't know about you, but like if I'm out and about and somebody is approaching me or somebody calls me on the phone and I think it might be a sales call or something like that, like I'm not like jumping up and down to be like, oh, let's talk to this person. Like a lot of
Yeah.
times
Okay.
I'm like, I don't want to do that. Even at the mall, like I was using the example. They always have those guys at the mall that clean your tennis shoes, and they clean your shoes for free, but they're going to try to sell you the cleaning stuff. And so like,
Yeah.
even though it's free, like when you're walking by and they're like, let me clean your shoes, it's free. I'm like, no, no, but they're like, it's free. Like yeah, but it's like, but I know it's not really free, right? Like I'm going to have to set through that. So I think
Yeah.
there's some of that going on there as well, but also too, it's the trust. There's also the trust layer, the authority layer. Like if you're like, I was new when I was trying to get my agency off the ground. And so like, what did I really have that, that transmitted an image of trust and authority? Like nothing.
Mm.
I had zero, right? And like, you may think like, oh, well, I have an agency website, like big freaking deal. Like anybody can have an agency website. Like a business owners are going to look at that and be like, oh, you've got a website. You must know what you're doing. Like that's why they ask you things like, who have you worked for? How long have you been doing this? Can you share some results with me? Because they're trying to establish that trust. And are you somebody that knows what they're talking about? What happened when I started coming from the directory was one, people just viewed me as someone trying to help local businesses. Like I became almost like a proponent for local businesses because it's like, hey, I run this community resource site. Our focus is helping local businesses on the island get more exposure, right? Like the local island community is very tight. So people relate to that message. And you're not coming out of the gate selling anything. You're offering value. You're giving something away free, a listing, which businesses like free exposure. They also like if they're going to be online, they want to make sure all their information is correct, right? So I think there's layers to the approach from the directory as well that kind of cancel out those things that you were just talking about. Because
Yeah.
also too, they go and they look at the directory and it looks amazing. And so they automatically imbue you with some authority. Like you knew how to build this thing. You must know how to build websites. Does that make sense?
Well,
And so,
there's also
yeah,
the
go ahead.
aspect of I don't want to be missing out, the fear of missing out. Like if I see all these other business owners, they're my competitors or other fellow business owners in my area, and I'm not on that, I want to be on that. It's like I don't want to be missing out. So yeah, I like it for
Exactly.
many reasons. So if you guys like if you're listening to this, like I'm not a big fan of sales. That's just not my space of genius, but I can do it, but it's not what I'm actually inclined to. But what I like about this offer is it takes away a lot of that. It takes away if you're trying to start from scratch, you don't have to sound desperate because you're leading with value, which helps increase trust faster. You're not trying to sell anything. There's the fear of missing out aspect, so that kind of plays in your game. And also, you said it, the what agency like we get marketed so much from other agencies, and businesses get too. So it's kind of like they hear it naturally. Everybody puts their wall up already, but you don't have to mention that either. And then the natural transition from that is once you get them on, now it's like a logical next thing. It's like, hey, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
let's
it's
get into it.
super easy. It's super easy to transition into anything that you want to sell. Cause like, for instance, I mentioned just the mailer as an example in the beginning, but like, I don't do that mailer anymore. Now we sell like AI services on the back end. And so here's what that conversation looks like today. It's like, hey, I'm just giving you a courtesy call. I saw you have a free listing on our site. I want to make sure all of the information we have is correct. I don't know if you know this, but if you claim the listing, that kind of locks it in and it gives you the power to edit it. Like, have you been able to do that? No. Oh, do you mind if I walk you through how to do that real fast? Like, yeah, here, we just do this, we do that. Look, I noticed there's no image there. If you want to shoot me over an image, I'd be happy to add it to your listing so it stands out a little more on the site. And look, before I go, I just wanted to bring something up. When I was adding your listing to the site, I just noticed that you don't have any way for your website visitors to interact in real time with your business. And I see some of your competitors are using like chat widgets where people can book appointments and ask questions, and you don't have anything like that. Is there a reason you don't have one? Like, there's a huge percentage of people that actually prefer to talk to businesses that way. Like, would you be interested in getting something like that on your website? So one of our sponsors PS Direct Marketing is offering free chat widgets for 30 days so you can test it out. Would you be interested in that? I can set you up with them right now. So that's how that kind of conversation goes. And we can tie that into anything. It could be, I notice you're not ranking on page one of Google. I notice you don't have a presence on Facebook. I notice you're not making regular social media posts, right? I notice you have some not so great reviews. Like, would you like some help cleaning that up? So there's so many ways that you can approach people when you're coming from that suit of the directory side, of the community resource site. And again, I hate high pressure sales. I don't like doing it. I'm like you. I can do it, but I don't want to do it. So this is just a much easier approach. We can have some easy conversations, and it just feels very natural when you bring that stuff up.
Yeah, I like it for that opportunity, and I like it also for like this is what we all want. We want to have a really good lifestyle, and we want to have business that makes money, but also business that is fun. There's this guy, I don't know if you guys know him, Taki Moore. He is a coach to coaches, and he talks about this analogy of like a scale. Like if you got an offer and that offer resonates and provides ton of value to whoever you're selling it to, but it's also fun to fulfill on it and it's highly profitable, then you're having fun and your customers getting ton of value and results, they're having fun, then that's like the ideal way everybody wants to be. And what I like about this model, it's like, it seems like it's such a low friction model that it would be fun.
Yeah, it is. And people are excited. Like when you send out a prospecting message, and these are real responses I've gotten from real businesses. I've gotten responses of like, oh, that's not our right address. Here's our new address. Thank you so much for thinking of us. Thank you for putting us on this directory. I've even had people respond to me and say, oh, actually, I'm not the right person. Here's the owner's name and private number and private email for you to reach out to. Like that does not happen when you're a marketing agency trying to sell them something, right?
Nope.
Like it just doesn't happen. And then when you look at the other aspects of getting clients and closing clients, it's not just the initial outreach and all those things it does too, but like it also makes follow-up easier. Because like in Smart Directory AI, we have several different features. Like we have events, we have jobs, they can put news articles, there's blogs. So, you know how most people, when I saw 3 of these messages in my inbox today. Hey, just bumping this to the top. Hey, just bringing this back up. It's like, ugh. But with a directory site, you've got all kinds of things to reach out to them again about, because you can say, hey, now that you've claimed your listing, did you know that you can add events to our site? Do you have any events coming up this year that I can add to our calendar? Do you know anybody that has events I should reach out to? Like, also, any news? I would be happy to publish that on the site. Any announcements for your business? Like, there's just it just opens up so many, again, different
It's
avenues and lines of conversations that just give you the opportunity to present your services. Because this is, I think, one of the biggest things that no one is talking about in the age of AI. And that is, when everyone can do fulfillment, why the hell would anyone use you? And
mhm.
it's going to be so crowded with so many Me Too offers and Me Too companies. Everybody's going to be doing the same thing. Like, how do you even get to have a conversation to make your offer? Well, for most people, that's going to be a real struggle. And I think a directory site, and whether you use Smart Directory AI or not, I think this model, this strategy of using it to prospect from is what is really key, because when you have that, you now kind of have the power of a brand without being a brand, if that makes sense, right? I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember, Neil Patel said at the event, the brand was the last moat. And I started thinking about that, and I'm like, oh, a directory site is really like a brand, because I have dekinecoupons.com. Like, that resonates with Hawaii people. They know what the word decine is. Like, it's got this local kind of brand presence to it. And so it resonates, it stands out. It's not, I don't have to try to build that up. It just seems like it's a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And as we were talking about all the other like angles and features you can upsell, I was also thinking like SEO. Like some businesses don't fully understand what SEO means, and they just get hit up with all these agencies. But if you got this listing that you get them on, it's free and it's there, and like, they kind of want it anyway. you say, hey, by the way, by having these listings, this is actually boosting your SEO. Did you know about that? And that opens up that conversation, and you can explain the technicality behind it and say, hey, by the way, that's just like one listing. Imagine if you had all this whole AI, like this whole SEO done. We have a service for it, but would you be interested? So it just opens that conversation. But now they're educated. They're no longer just like, oh, there's a price figure, and I'm just looking at the figure, and that's a lot of money. Now they're actually educated, and it kind of makes it a lot seamless to go into that offer.
You may not realize this, but for the last 2 years, I've had a secret weapon that has made running my business inside of HighLevel so much easier. You see, there is so much that HighLevel can do, which is amazing, but it's a lot of work to stay up to date with it. And even more so if my customers are asking me questions about it. And this is why I'm excited to announce that our show is officially part of the HLPT Creator Network. This is HighLevel Pro Tools, an organization that I've been using to run support for my customers, as well as give me a ton of awesome epic add-ons that make running, launching, and differentiating my SaaS inside of HighLevel so much easier. And now that they're an official sponsor of the show, they've done something pretty bloody awesome. If you go to hlpt.com/experience, you can get one of their incredible tools absolutely for free. No purchase necessary, just for being a listener on the show. So head over to hlpt.com/experience, grab that free tool, and I promise you this is going to improve the conversion rates on your page. Check out all the other stuff that they offer and tell them that Pete sent you.
You know what's wild? There's a smarter way to grow your agency and help more local businesses without adding more stress. That's what HighLevel does. It's your all-in-one sales, marketing, automation, and AI system. No more duct taping tools together or paying for 20 different subscriptions that barely talk to each other. I've been using it for 5 years with my own white-level version, stand out from the pack, helping Aussie businesses like Dimitri, a Canberra electrician, who now runs his jobs, quotes, calls, and follow-ups with our built-in AI employee. If you're an agency, HighLevel lets you do exactly that. Support your clients in new ways while building stable, recurring revenue every month. And if you're a local business, partner up with somebody who knows your market and your industry. If you're in Tasmania, my mate Jared from Boulder Digital, for example, has you covered. If you're in Canberra, that's my turf. Check out standoutfromthepack.com.au and we'll get you sorted. The point is, there's probably a high-level agency or SaaSpreneur near you. We're seasoned marketers, tech-savvy super nerds who love helping local businesses grow. We're global, we're connected, we're high-levelers. Now, I've got something really special for you guys. I've negotiated an exclusive 30-day HighLevel trial that's double the usual just for you. Sign up your agency through gohighlevel.com/vid or upgrade your existing plan, and I'll hook you up with over $3,200 worth of bonuses, resources, templates, and snapshots I normally give to my private clients only. So whether you're scaling an agency or leveling up your business, start with the right system. gohighlevel.com/vid or team up with your local SaaSpreneur and let's make business simple again. One platform, one login, no duct tape, just results.
Yeah, and they listen to you. Like they have that conversation with you because you seem like a trusted person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I used to do a lot of times with the people on my directory in Maui, like after they were on the directory for a while or I had a little bit of a relationship with them, I would tell them, I would say, hey, listen, do you get like hit up by people saying they work for Google and trying to sell you like SEO and things? Oh my God, they would say all the time. They just call. I said, look, I tell you what, next time they call, just give them my number. Tell them that I handle your marketing. I will field all those calls. And if there's anything that I think you need to know about or something that you should be doing that you're not, or any of it sounds good, I'll just let you know. And they were like, oh my God, thank you so much, Tom. And they started doing that. And then like people would call me up and then I'd go to the business owner and say, hey, I got this call. This is what they're doing. Like, look, I'm not a fan of like their pricing and all that stuff, but I think this is something you probably might want to think to do. I could actually help you with it. And they're like, oh, okay, let's do that. Like I basically got them to make all the competitors call me first, and then I could go talk to them and get the services.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you guys were listening for that one just a minute ago. And this is what it's all about. You just got to listen out for those little nuggets. I have not heard that one. That is very clever. I'm going to write that down.
Just tell them I'm your marketing guy. Everybody
And
likes
then
to
you
have a
actually,
guide, right? And it takes an
yeah.
annoying thing off their plate because they're like, they don't want to deal with those people. So now they can
Mhm.
just say, oh, just call this person. It's my marketing person.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
So we talked about just overall the concept of how business directories are effective, smart directory AI as a product, what it is, and how does it flip the script on the traditional directory model.
Yeah. So the reason I developed Smart Directory AI was one, speed is really important in the process that I kind of laid out for you here today. Because here's what typically happens to someone because the directory site as a whole is not a new idea. It's been around for a long time. But what normally happens to most people is they're like, hey, I bet if I had this directory site, because I know this because this is what happened to me at first. Like, look, if I had a directory site, I could maybe use it to get some business. I'll go find a directory software. And now it's hard to set up. It's hard to add businesses. Next thing you know, you're like, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. It's 6 months later. You still don't have a finished directory site. And you've been in like you're not getting any clients. It's just, you're in this limbo. And so I wanted something that could be set up quickly within a day that businesses could already be on so that we could start prospecting right away. Because here's the other part of what I call the directory problem. And that is you build a great directory site, but now what? Now you have to get traffic to it. Well, Smart Directory AI is different because we don't rely on traffic to come to us before we start prospecting. We initiate all the prospecting. And because it's built inside HighLevel, it's really easy to do. So here's the way this works. We use the HighLevel prospecting tool to pull a list of 50 to 100 businesses, right? We add them as contacts in our HighLevel account. Then with
And
just,
now there is the bulk feature with prospecting, so
yes,
that
the
makes it
bulk
even
feature.
easier.
I just did a video on this. The bulk feature, like it's super easy to add all those. So let's say we've got 100, 150 contacts in a HighLevel. We can select all those contacts. All we have to do is add the tag business, and they instantly all have listings on our directory, like that fast. Then we can just drop those 150 contacts into what we have, which is the free listing workflow outreach. And what that does, that emails them and says, hey, you have a listing on our directory site. It's free, but we need to make sure your information is correct. And HighLevel fills in all this custom information, even sends them a link to their listing, all of that done automatically. And then we just wait to see who responds. Yes, that's correct. No, it's not. Who claims their listing. There's also a sequence where they go to premium upgrades. So it makes the time from being like, hey, I want to use this to prospecting super fast. Like I can set one up live in about 10 minutes. So it's super quick. Now you need a little customization after that. So I say give yourself a few days. But once you have it set up, you should be adding businesses and sending out the prospecting emails. While you're doing that, then you work on making your site what you want it to be and customizing it, but you start prospecting first. That way we can get some traction, generate some revenue, and then build as we go. I see too many people that try to make it perfect before they ever launch, and that is never good. We want to get it good enough. We want to start prospecting, and then we can spend all the time we want customizing it and thinking of different ways to use it and all that. But at least we're getting traction and building up our base in the beginning. Now, over time, as you keep to do that, the site will naturally start to get traction. It'll start to get traffic. It'll start to get interest, all of those things. And now you can lean into those things because the site has momentum. But in the beginning, it's unrealistic to think that you're going to all of a sudden, just because you have a directory site, get traffic. Like that has to be built up over time. So we don't hide from that. We embrace it at Smart Directory AI. We even tell the people we're reaching out to, this is a brand new directory. We're just building this. We're just getting this off the ground. Because if somebody, by the way, this is an interesting stat that out of the thousands of businesses that I've added to directories and reached out to, do you know how many of them have asked me how much traffic my directory site gets?
Nobody?
That's right. 0. Zero business owners ask that question. Who asks me that question all the time? And it's usually the very first question they ask. Marketers. The very first thing marketers say is, well, how much traffic does it get? How do you make money if it doesn't get any traffic? They're almost like appalled. Like they can't believe that you could make money without getting traffic to the site. Like, how could this be? But it's like, that's the reality. A business owner doesn't think that way. They think, oh, is my information correct? This site looks pretty good. And you're telling them it's new and the listing is free. Like, what do they have to lose? Right? Like, there's nothing there to raise any alarms or be like, what's going on? So that's why the Smart Directory AI system flows so well together. Now, if we were coming out of the gate charging $500 for a listing, you bet they're going to ask how much traffic do you get, because they should. Because if they're going to pay $500, like they need to know they're going to get a result, right? And so I've just built a lot of that stuff into the strategy and the operation of Smart Directory AI to take care of all that stuff. So you can basically just let this thing run in the background, throw businesses in, and it'll just start getting people to raise their hand and be interested. And then you log into HighLevel, and then those are the people you deal with first. And then you just kind of expand out from there.
Brilliant. I want to go back to that thing we talked about, trust, and how increased trust increases conversion. And when it comes to converting leads, not everybody always converts right away. So there's the thing called lead nurture, right? So it's all about staying top of mind, providing more value. And up until this point, I've always been saying, have an email campaign where you can link out to valuable, helpful resources like articles, like videos, and they're cool. But like, I think a lot of people do that. With this, it's almost like you create a flywheel. So you already have them in your contact list. Then you can turn and create those listings like you just said. But vice versa, if you get a lead and they don't convert, you put them in your nurture sequence. Well, no longer is just about sending them to videos and articles. One of those emails could also be, hey, we just create. So it just adds another layer of value and then just helps increase that trust, which then, again, can help you increase conversion. So I'm just putting my marketing brain on. I can already see many ways this is very helpful to, help with sales, help with conversion. And in our space as SaaSpreneurs, I mean, even it's just a no-brainer. Now, there's the AI component to it as well. So what does the AI component do?
Well, can I touch on what you said there with the follow-up and stuff? I just want to say a couple things. Because one of the things that we did for a long time was we dropped people into like a weekly newsletter. And in that newsletter, we shared like local Hawaii business news. We shared important things in the community. And we also did local business spotlights. And we would just pick random businesses off of our directory and feature them in that newsletter. And like people would share that with their friends and show it around. And I even have people in our community that do like video business spotlights for their directory. They go out and they come in with the camera and they're like, hey, I own this directory and I'm doing interviews with local businesses. I'd love to interview you. You got 15 minutes? And they build the relationships that way. So that process that you're talking about works like gangbusters with the directory model and that method. Because again, you just have this thing that's a natural thing to talk about and work from. Now, to your question about the AI. So we are actually just rolling this part out in Smart Directory AI. We didn't really want to jump the gun and start doing outbound voice AI until HighLevel had it available natively in the system. So here's kind of the way AI works in Smart Directory AI right now. The big problem with, I'm going to talk about outbound voice AI, because there is a huge problem with outbound voice AI that I just like to think about how do you get attention in the AI age. I don't hear anybody talking about this when it comes to outbound voice AI, and that is, how the heck do you get permission? Like the rules and regulations are going to get stricter and stricter and stricter. And if you're using an outbound AI agent to do cold calling and you do not have permission to reach out to those people, which is what makes it cold outreach, right? Then you are just playing with fire. I remember when Sean Clark was here in Vegas, we were talking about this and he was like, he's like, outbound voice AI is like a stick of dynamite. It's not if it's going to blow up, it's when it's going to blow up. And that's why HighLevel has been very protective and careful about what they're doing there, because they see the what could potentially happen from one bad actor or whatever. And so if you have to get permission to use the AI dialer, like that kind of defeats the purpose of the AI dialer, right? I know everybody had it in their head, this fantasy, I think, of an AI agent that just calls and does all the uncomfortable stuff they don't want to do, right?
Yeah.
But we got to get permission. So directory, the directory edge, as I called it at my talk at High Level, to the rescue again. This is just another thing. It's so funny because like a lot of this stuff, as these problems come up in the real world, we're dealing with, I go, oh, well, we can solve that with the directory. Oh, we can solve that with the directory. So here's what we do. When we drop our list of leads into the automation workflow that lets them know they have a listing, when they claim their listing, they have to create an account because they edit their listing. And when they create that account, there's a checkbox, and that checkbox gives us permission to use AI calling and SMS and text and anything else. So the minute they claim their listing, they have granted us permission. So now we can have an AI agent do a courtesy call. So we used to do this with actual people. We had people on our team to do this. But now you can just use the AI outbound agent. So here's what the flow looks like. You drop leads into your free listing outreach workflow. People respond. Some people claim their listings. Some people do nothing. Some people upgrade to premium, whatever. Anyone who claims their listing, though, they then, within whatever time frame you want, get a call from your AI agent thanking them for claiming their listing, welcoming them to the site, making sure that they were able to get everything set up the way they wanted. Is all the business information correct? Is there any changes we need to make? Again, no selling at this point. Just, hey, we're just trying to make sure that this is all set up right. Do you know how to do this? Were you able to figure that part out? Is all this information correct? And then the AI voice agent says, by the way, did you know we have a little package that gets you more exposure on the site? And it also comes with a lot of awesome free goodies, like a free online visibility report, a free Google Business Profile optimization, a free 30-second promo video, altogether about $700 in real world value, but it's yours for only $250. And you get 1 year of listings, premium listing on our directory site. So the AI agent makes that sale, or you can have it book a strategy session for you. Hey, we've got all the information correct. We'd love to hop on and just welcome you to the directory in person. Would you mind clicking this link, booking a call? Right. So that's how we're using the AI voice agents on the back end of Smart Directory AI right now.
I love it. I love it. Is there any other killer features that make it such a good combo with High Level? Or have you?
I think the pricing plans are really great. Like you have the ability to have free listings and paid listings, and you can control what's in free and what's in paid. You can even add your own custom things. So back to what we were talking about earlier about, well, how do you make money when the directory doesn't have any traffic? Kind of a next step in that thought process for a lot of people is like, well, why would they pay for a premium upgrade if the directory doesn't have any traffic? Surely by then, sorry, I didn't mean to call you Shirley there, Vit, but by then they would want to know, like, does it get traffic? Well, the way that we overcome that with Smart Directory AI is we add tangibles to the package. So the upgrade package isn't really about the directory features. It's about these additional things that they get along with the directory features. Things like an online visibility report, which we just use the high-level prospecting tool to generate those. We do Google Business Profile Optimization. I can't wait for the new Google Business Profile Optimization feature in High Level because we'll be able to do that right in High Level as well.
Isn't it already there?
I don't know that I have access to that yet. I think it's in beta.
No, I do.
They have like a new AI Google Business, like it optimizes the profile and all that.
Okay. I think that's the next version of it, but it's already the basic version is already there. If you guys are listening, you can already go in and
connecting the Google, right?
No. So you can connect and you can like manually update and add social links and update the categories and stuff. Yeah. But I think you're talking about the next one.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is awesome, right? Sometimes we add in like free blog posts. We give them a free blog post. We just basically stack in tangible value. So the person goes, well, heck, like everything I'm getting is worth what he's asking. And even if I don't get a single lead from the directory, I still got all this stuff that was high value. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that feature is really good. Obviously, the premium listings and all the additional things you can add in there, I think that makes those look really great. Pricing plans, you can add custom pages. That's another thing we've added. It automatically sorts. You have your menus all set up so everything is easily searchable and all that kind of stuff. So
Now, for agencies who want to use it not just as a lead gen, but also sell it as a tool to other businesses, what's the business model look like there?
yes. So that is yet another way to optimize a directory, right? So I haven't done this personally myself. We've always been focused on just bringing people into our higher ticket agency services with Smart Directory AI. But we've had several members who actually sell the directories to local businesses. So we have a couple of people that focus on like local business networking groups. Some people have sold them to chambers of commerce in their towns. And then I call them our power couple, because we have a couple in our group. They actually met in our Facebook group, started doing business together, got married. They came to Vegas. They got married in Vegas at the same chapel that me and my wife got married at. And I was the best man at the wedding. So they are like all in on Smart Directory AI. And anyway, they sell them to real estate agents. So
Ah,
what they do is they set a directory site up for the real estate agent, and the real estate agent uses it to prospect for business. And so they handle all the marketing of that. They set up the directory, they add all the businesses, they help the real estate agent go and do business local spotlights, they do all the branding. Like they have packages. I know they posted a win a few months ago where they had like a $50,000 package they sold to a real estate agent, all built out around the directory.
wow. That's brilliant. Is there any niches that you found like working in particularly well with the directories?
That's a great question. So there are two approaches when it comes to setting up a directory, right? One is a geo-targeted directory. So that's one where you have all kinds of businesses, but you're targeting a specific area. That's what I did in Hawaii. I liked that approach because it gave me a lot of flexibility and how many businesses I could add more and more businesses because it wasn't really specific to any particular niche. You could also build a directory around a specific niche, like best DUI attorneys or best pool cleaners, and like they could be kind of nationwide. The couple I mentioned earlier, their directory site is a directory site of real estate agents all across the US. So they have a national site that targets real estate agents. There are pros and cons to each. Neither I wouldn't say one approach is better than the other. They both work. So like you just kind of have to pick one and commit to it. But to your point, I think a directory site around like home services type niches is really, really powerful because those types of businesses make great clients. They're usually a little easier to get as clients. So doing something in that home service area is really, really good. The downside to doing something nationally is I think most people really underrate the resources and manpower that you need to try to launch something nationally. So I always tell people like with Jocelyn and Randy and their real estate site, even though the site is branded nationally and even though it has real estate agents from all over the US on it, they really only prospect in the two areas that they live, which is Oregon and Las Vegas.
Hmm.
So they're really heavily focused on prospecting in those areas because that's their own backyard. And as they grow that out, then they're going to start expanding to other cities and different things like that.
I like it. That's great. Can we talk monetization just a little bit more on this? Like,
Sure.
I mean, we kind of like touched on the models as as a lead gen tool on the back end, but what if you had it as a front end offer straight up as an agency? How would you monetize that if you wanted to
Yeah.
resell
So
it?
one of the ways we generate a little cash flow with the directory itself is by having the premium upgrade offers. So we give them a free listing. Then they start getting an email sequence that's like, hey, we've got a premium upgrade package. Now, there's, again, multiple ways that you can approach this. Again, I'm not a believer that there's one magic thing that works. Like, I think all of these methods work. You just kind of have to find what's right for you. So we've done two different things over the years. One is we've priced the premium packages very low just to get a purchase and get the conversation going. So remember I mentioned the courtesy call when somebody claims a listing? Well, when someone buys a premium upgrade, we give them what we call an activation call. And the activation call is to go over everything that we did for them as part of their premium package. But really, the activation call is a sales call, because the last thing we go over is the online visibility report. And we point out all the problems they have. And then we talk about how our services can solve them. And we usually end up signing them as a client. So if you think about this process, we take a cold lead, drop it into an automation. We get them to raise their hand and say, yes, that's my correct information. I'm interested. They claim their listing. They buy a premium upgrade and they get on the activation call. They're actually paying us to be on a sales call. So we don't look at it. We don't look at it as we're making $99 from a premium listing. We look at it as we're getting someone to pay us $99 to be on a sales call with us. So we want to get as many of those as we can, right? So we price it really low. It's not a money driver. It's just to get to that activation call place. Then we can make the packages really super attractive, because if they're getting all those things like an online visibility report, a 30-second promo video, Google Business Profile optimization, a blog post, and maybe even other stuff, plus a year of premium listings on the directory site for $99, like that's a real no-brainer offer. So that's one way we price them. The other way we do it is to pack the premium with tangible values and just do a yearly price of like $250. So we found that's kind of the sweet spot. We have one member in our community that sold like 15 of these in one day at that price point, $250 a pop,
Nice.
just doing those premium upgrade packages. So those are kind of the two approaches we take. But with the Smart Directory AI software, you can have a free, a middle, and an upper. Like you can have as many plans as you want depending on what you're trying to do. But I think a lot of that depends on your end goal, right? Again, for us, we're not trying to be in the directory site business. We're trying to close clients on higher agency ticket services. So we're never really we don't ever really look at the monetization of the directory site as like a revenue source. It's more of like, can this cover our lead acquisition and make it easier for us to turn them into a paying client, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's a qualification tool. With each one of those layers, you're just qualifying them further and further to want to spend more money with you. So it's a great offer. Now, I'm going to put you on a spot a little bit because I know we didn't discuss this, but do you think we could do a little screen share and for you to show the guys that are watching this on YouTube what that tool looks like on the back end? We don't have to go
see
through
on the front end or the back end.
Both. I think it'd be useful to see both because. I mean,
Let me,
I'm sold, by the way. It's such a good offer. So I know I'm going to be using it.
Let me pull up an account.
And I know we didn't discuss this, so I appreciate you doing it.
Yeah, no worries.
I know demos can be sometimes you want to be like ready for them and stuff. So
okay, so can I share my screen here?
You should be able to.
Okay, so
while you are talking about the different packages, the video thing, I'm curious, how do you make it happen? That's the one a little bit less scalable.
Oh yeah, the 30 seconds. Actually, we just use Canva templates.
Okay, right.
So we just get some images. We pull some images off Google. We get their logo, and we just put them in a Canva template with some music, and then send it to them. Super duper easy.
Yeah,
super duper easy. And
you want to see something? You want to see something funny? This is a video from 10 years ago, company called Big Review TV. This is when I was a personal trainer back in Sydney. I'll play a clip in a second, but that's literally a model. They came up to me. It's like, hey, you're a personal trainer? Do you have video? We create these videos. You pay this much, and then it's a subscription model. You just pay every month. We'll come in. We'll bring our crew. We'll record a video. We'll edit it and everything. You just keep on paying for as long as you want that, continue using that video. And then once a year, you get to get a refresher. So that was the model. And that's 10. I'm just looking at it now. It's like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. That's great.
Yeah. If you guys want to see it, check out VitFit Personal.
Remind me a little bit later to tell you about the video prospecting angle to attach to the directory. I think your listeners will like this, but here's a look at one of our directory sites. So you can see it's got a nice ocean image here. This one is based in geo-targeted in Hawaii. These are like premium listings here. So these are like free listings. So you can see there's a difference. It's got a nice slider. We've got blogs, all that stuff. So I'll show you a couple things here. One is just to point out, there's a search bar. Obviously, this is intuitive. Like as you put in business names, it starts to bring up various suggestions, right? So you can search for businesses. We've got our menu all laid out. So we have this one in particular is based on the islands. So like this is Oahu, this is Maui, this is the Big Island, here's Kauai. And then each one is broken down into individual categories. So like if you want to see Maui restaurants, you can just go here and click Maui restaurants and boom, you've got all the Maui restaurants. And then to individual ones if you want.
I was going to say, what you could do with this is you could create a partnership with travel agents and then offer them that they can add it as an added value where all of these listings could have a voucher, but it's only like behind a paywall. And then they could bundle it into their travel packages. So they could say, hey, buy holidays for your family. And you also get a discount vouchers for like a free appetizer for meals in the area. We've got deals with all the restaurants. So now you're actually driving business to those restaurants that incentivize them to want to be even more on that side.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can see here, these are like our additional pages, blogs. Like, so here's blogs that can be displayed. Here's news events. Also here is.
So when you say, can you go back to that blog for me for a second? So what you're saying is you can have, so this is like an aggregate for articles by the businesses themselves. So they could be articles by different businesses, but in one place.
Yes, correct.
So each one of them gets an article. So, okay, I get it now.
If you had that feature enabled. So that's something that's only enabled in the premium packages for us. So if you want to have a blog on your listing or on the site, then you have to have the premium plan to do that.
Yeah, because somebody has to go and create that article as well, right?
Yep, but it's a great value add. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll tell them like, look, if you upgrade to premium, we'll create a version of your blog post for our directory site, and then we'll create a version that you can use on your own website. 2 different versions around the same topic, right? This is the pricing page I was telling you about. So you can see right now we're running the $250 thing. So it's got, this is what they get in the free. This is everything they get in the premium. These things that you see down here, these are custom things that I created. So like these are in a person has full control of these. Obviously, if somebody just stumbles upon your directory site and they want to add their business, they just fill all this stuff out right here. And then let me show you so a free listing is very basic. So you can see just default image. It's just got very basic information, address, phone number, website. But a premium listing, they get this cover image. They've got additional images they can add. You can see over here, it shows their social media, their email, their phone number, their website. People have the ability to claim businesses, right? So there's a button here for people to claim. This is an optimized business description. So this is something that we offer as part of the premium upgrade package. I just use ChatGPT to do this, right? To make this. Here's a Google map. It integrates with the Google Maps API. So here's a Google map of their business. You can put in their hours. It also pulls in their Google reviews, and you have the ability to set this, whether it shows 3 stars, 4 stars, or only 5 stars. I think this one's set to only show 5 stars. We also have our own review system. Like if they don't want to pull in Google reviews, people can come here and just leave reviews that show. And then this is like the team section where they can talk about their team. Here's their blog articles. Here's their news articles. Here's their job postings. And then here's their events. And then that's all the stuff on the premium listing. So those are all the additional features they get along with the other things we talked about, the tangible stuff. Now, what does this look like on the back end? Well, when you log into your HighLevel account, Smart Directory AI lives in a sub account. So this is my Smart Directory AI demo account. You can see down here in the bottom is this Smart Directory AI is in the menu. So when you install the app, this shows up here. And when I click on this, it shows this is the dashboard. Okay.
Yep.
So here's the businesses. So you can go in here and see all the businesses on your site. If you want to take a business from free to premium, super easy. You just toggle this little button on and off and it makes them premium and not premium. You can add business tags for organization just by clicking right here. You can edit a business just by clicking this little pencil. Pardon me. And you can see like analytics of the business, the account owner, business details. We can pull images in from Google if we want. Here's how we edit
Nice.
their business information here.
Good.
Right? Consumers, this is really the people like when if someone comes to your site and they register, that's a consumer. So you'd see information about them here. Branding. So we've got one theme right now. We have some new themes coming, but when you click edit here, it brings you in your theme and you can see you can edit all your colors, your logos. This is where you connect your domain. This is where you can add custom pages. This is where you can change your header image. So this is what a basic foundation installation of Smart Directory AI looks like. So it looks like this. And then you just kind of, when you add your first round of businesses, you just delete this demo content and you're good to go. But this site can be set up really quickly. And then here's how you set up your plans. So you can just edit the existing plans. So you can set a price. We support all kinds of different currencies. Then you just kind of toggle on what you want. You can move these things around, change the order if you want. You can have a trial if you want. And then you just save that. This also integrates directly with Stripe. But if you can't use Stripe, you can also use custom payment links. So like right here on here, if I think this is a free one. Yeah, this is the free one. But if we go to like this paid plan, you can see there's a monthly or an annual price. You can set that here. And if you integrate this with Stripe, you can just turn this off and it just all works automatically. But if you don't want to use Stripe, then you just put your payment link in here and it automatically uses it for what you're trying to do.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then this is where you can add like all your custom add-ons and things like that. You just create them right here. Settings. These are just some different integrations we have. Stripe, Google Analytics, AI conversation. Don't really need to. There's review settings where you can set things. You can even add custom code. And then, of course, we have a really robust knowledge base and stuff that you can access from right here as well.
And
So,
looks like that's all. It's all white label. Even the knowledge base can be white labeled.
The knowledge base is on our actual site. It's not really white labeled. But so like if you're selling this to someone else, you're going to be setting it up for them. Like it would be at their sub account. More than likely, you're going to be kind of managing that for them. But
yeah, I mean, for me, the most exciting model is the lead gen model. So I don't think I would be reselling it. But I mean, actually, no, now that I said it, I do have a few contacts in a business networking space who do, and there's two of my mates that are launching business networking. So there you go. That could be an opportunity. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it's super great. And then of course, when people respond to like your listings and stuff, you'll see it all happens in here. Like this is where you go to see and interact. It comes complete with all the automations and workflows that you need, all the system workflows, all of the outreach workflows. Like these are the ones we were kind of talking about: free listing, marketing, premium, SaaS. There's also a funnel included with custom pages and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the complete package. And then there's a separate members area where I cover the strategy and how we use it to prospect and all that stuff as well.
I've got, in terms of fulfillment, when somebody does upgrade to premium plan, do they get access to their own like profile, their own listing that they can actually do it themselves, or is it all done? They do. Okay.
Nope, they do. Yeah. So if I don't know if I can do it on,
because I was, I'm big for scale. So like,
look, so I just logged into one of my profiles. And so when
Okay,
somebody
great.
creates an account, they have a profile page like this. They can edit their profile, right? All their information. They can change their password. They can change this cover image, change this image. And then if they claim any businesses, they will see them here in their own businesses. Now, this business happens to already be a premium listing, but like if this weren't like if they just claim their business, but they don't upgrade, they see like a big red upgrade now button right here. So when
Yeah.
they log in, it will be asking them to upgrade. If they have any claim requests, it'll be here. You can follow businesses on here. I didn't even talk about that. They have jobs and then events, activities here as well. And
Good.
then if there's like, because this business is premium, if I click on manage, I can see the analytics for this business, right? I can see they can edit their business details in here. They can make their blog posts from right in here. All that stuff they can manage on the front end as well.
So then the natural next upsell is, do you want us to manage it for you, right? So that is good. So it gives you both
Yeah, I mean, most
DIY
people like
and done for
yeah.
you.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's great. I like it. Well, I guess the important question is, how much does it cost? And what are we going to do for the listeners?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. So a single site license is $99 a month with all the features. And if you want to do unlimited, which is you want to build as many directory sites as you want, as many sub accounts as you want, that is $299 a month. We really don't do any kind of like special offers or anything, but that just for your listeners, we put together a 14-day free trial, which is something we've never really done before. So they can go to highlevelexperience.com/smart directory AI, and you'll actually get a 14-day free trial. You can get this thing in your sub account, start playing around with it, get it set up. I have a whole thing in the training about the express setup. It's just 4 videos, 39 minutes, and you can have a complete foundation site up running and live. So that way you can start to get some traction early on.
Excellent. So guys, head over to highlevelexperience.com/smart directory AI, and you can learn about Tom's offer and get that 14-day thing. On that page, you'll also learn, we've got a couple of lead magnets that might be useful for your agency. One of them is our deep links generator, which allows you to create trigger links in emails that your customers, so your SaaS customers, can easily click through and go straight into the contact rather than clicking through when they log in. So that's absolutely for free in there. I've got a couple of other offers there for you. And then further below, if you scroll further down, we've got some of our sponsors offers. So make sure that you check them out. Now, back to Tom's offer. Here's where it becomes a no-brainer, but here's where you can capitalize on it, right? Tom told you how quickly and how easily it is. So if you got a prospecting on, by the way, HighLevel has a prospecting trial as well. So you can get a trial on the prospecting tool, generate all your prospects in your niche, upload them. How long does it take to create a profile, Tom, in the directory?
For a listing, it's super easy. I mean, literally, you just select the contacts that you want and you just add the tag business. That's it. Boom.
Okay.
Add a listing.
So you've got 14 days. Within 14 days, you could literally have the directory set up. And also, I think you mentioned at the beginnings, like, don't worry about the look and feel. Just start prospecting, start filling up those profiles, because it takes time before people respond to it anyway. That gives you a bit of time to then dial it in. So you could pretty much have leads ready to go, and within that 14-day trial, you could be turning them into customers, and it just becomes no-brainer deal. So it's not, because one of the biggest things, we tend to sign up for things and then we never take action. So don't do that. This is a really good offer.
Yeah, and we also have a ton of support for people as well. So if you have questions, my team's on standby. We have a school group, all that kind of stuff. So your questions will get answered quickly, because we want people, the whole point of this thing is for you to take action and do it, right? And we do everything in our power to make sure we can make that happen.
Yeah. Do you also have like a roadmap for upcoming features? Do you allow customers to
We have a canny, so we have what we call a canny board, which has got upcoming features, and it also has like when people want a certain feature, they'll put it on there and people vote for it and different things like that. So yeah, our big things right now are we have a small group of users right now beta testing all the voice AI stuff just to make sure all that flows and works correctly. We have a new updated menu builder that we're going to be rolling out, and then we have a couple of We have some new SEO stuff, some schema things that are coming to it. Because I think there's another area where directories are going to be very big in the near future, and that is with AI search. Like directories are like red meat to an AI search engine. They have authority, they love them. So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity that we maybe aren't even really aware of right now, just by having a directory site and having businesses on them and all that stuff. So we're looking into that and researching that a lot more and adding features around that. And then we're working on new themes and other things like that.
So, Tom, I want to ask you a couple of questions about your agency. So, Smart Directory, I think we covered everything there, and it's pretty exciting. But what I'm curious, like day to day, so you're a fellow SaaSpreneur like most of us. You go after businesses. You're no longer in Hawaii, you mentioned. So, how's that going? You just going pure SaaS, or you like hybrid? You upselling services?
Yeah, I mean, we've really kind of done a hybrid the whole time. Like our clients really don't want to do a lot of stuff themselves. Like most of our clients just want us to handle things for them. So we've never hidden the fact that we use HighLevel. Like we tell them like, oh yeah, you're using HighLevel. Like, but most of our clients have us managing all that stuff for them. So we have all the clients set up on HighLevel, and then we just go in and run all the marketing out of those accounts.
Yeah, you know what I like about HighLevel? Like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it was like, I don't want anybody to know that we use HighLevel because like there weren't that many features. So like in a way, yeah, business owners could probably do it themselves. At this point, there's zero fear about it. Like I'm pretty transparent as well because there's so much. The learning curve is so big at this point that if you dive in and if you got nobody to help you, you're not. So everybody. I think these days businesses get that they need somebody who's skilled, and so it's actually the other way now, right? Where it's actually a bragging rights. Like, hey, I've been with HighLevel 5 years. I know it through and through. We're actually certified admin. So if you are, then it's like a power weapon.
Yeah, it's so funny because last week, so I bought this hat when I was in Dallas, and so I've been wearing it a lot. And last week, two random people approached me and they were like, hey, I see your hat. Do you use HighLevel? And I was like, actually, I just spoke at their event. And they were like, oh my God, I need somebody to help me with HighLevel. Can I get your information and can you help me? Just random people on the street seeing the hat, right?
Yeah.
And so I made a post in my group of like, this hat got me 2 prospects. And, but like, you're absolutely right. There's no reason to hide it or worry about it because here's the thing that has always been true about business owners. And I've heard this with a lot of things that come in the marketing space. Oh, when WordPress came out, nobody's going to need anybody to build websites anymore. Oh, when this tool comes out, they're not going to need this. But here's the thing. Business owners, especially small business owners, are busy running their business. They do not have time to figure out how to use AI to fix things. Like they're busy running their business. Most of them want to run their business. They don't want to learn AI. So they will happily pay somebody to help them do all that stuff. The great thing about HighLevel is HighLevel puts all of that stuff that you can do to help them in one place and makes it really easy to use. And so there used to be Microsoft consultants and like all kinds of consultants for all kinds of different applications and things. And I think this is no different. Like one of the things that stood out to me at the event in Dallas was when Neil Patel said the thing about how many people here use AI, and everybody raised their hand. And then he was like, and how many people here can or use AI to increase revenue in their business or can directly attribute revenue to AI? And only like 6 hands went up. Like that's the difference, right? There's a difference between using AI, which is what everybody's doing right now. Everyone right now is just using AI. They're not leveraging AI to increase the revenue in their business. That is where we come in. That is where you come in. You can leverage the AI that they use, but they don't know how to leverage it to do the things you can. And I think that's the separator. That's the difference. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Tom, looking back at your time managing like 70 plus staff in hospitality, what skills from those days have helped you succeed in SaaS and agency life?
I think obviously interacting with people, dealing with people in general. I think you always get a good education when you're in any kind of profession where you deal with a lot of different types of people and different people. The restaurant business was very fast paced. It was different every day, right? It had a lot of unique challenges. You had to think on your feet. You had to figure stuff out. Obviously, it's a business where you really have to focus on controlling costs and different things like that. So I think all of that stuff has helped me over time and what I'm doing here. Also too, like I used to be a corporate manager for the Olive Garden, and that's where I learned about SMART goals because they did training for the managers and different things like that. So if you're working a job and you don't like it and you're trying to get out or whatever, one of the things that I would recommend you do is just really like what are like where the more you can improve in your current job, though you'll be able to use those things later on, right? So you're like, don't think it's wasted time. I used to think being a restaurant manager was wasted time. Like I'm just wasting my time because I wanted to be doing this other thing, and all this time I'm doing this is wasted. It turns out that wasn't the case. The time I had as a restaurant manager became very valuable once I got out and started doing things on my own.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I'm now my experience from that world is behind the scenes. So I was in the kitchen. One thing in the kitchen as a chef, what it taught me is you never stop. There's always something to do, and if there's nothing to cook, then then there's prep and there's tidying up, and it's like this weird thing that even now it could be maybe partly ADHD and all that. Like you never really sit still, but I just got this urge, like always, like there's always something to do. Even like looking at my screens, like there's always something to do. So
To lean, you got time to clean. That's what we used to tell people. You got time. So I was a front of the house manager for a long time, but I was a kitchen manager for a couple of years, and I know
okay,
exactly
you get
what I
it.
mean. Like it's high stress, right? I mean, when that dinner rush and that lunch rush comes in and you've got 75 tickets and managers looking for food and servers looking
Yep.
for food, and like every department has to be working together, appetizers and salads and firing entrees and making sure everything's right. And like it is like there's a lot going on. It takes a sharp mind to manage all that and manage it effectively. And you're right, there's all the prep, like setting yourself up for success makes that part, like if you don't set yourself up for success, that part's a disaster, right? And then once that's over, like winding down and cleaning up and like all those things, that just you realize that it's not about the one moment. Like, and I think this is really applicable to entrepreneurs in general because we tend to look at people when they're successful and really focus on the successful part. Like, oh wow, that just seemed to come out of nowhere. And like, and we don't, you really have to, I always like to take time and talk to people about, well, what was the stuff up before and what was the stuff
Mm-hmm.
after? Like, because usually there's something in here that made this part possible, that without that, if they hadn't gone through that, they never would have gotten here. And that's been my experience too.
Yeah. Definitely. There's zero room for compassion. It's a bit of a tough love thing when you work in the kitchen in a hospitality industry. And you know what? When you're talking about that urgency, when it gets into that peak time, the busy hour, the Friday night, all the orders. I used to work in a restaurant. We used to do pizzas. On Friday night, we would do like 500 pizzas because they had a massive beer garden, and it was pizzas and mussels, and you just had these orders. And there was this urgency, and you just had to keep moving. Tough love, right? Now, it just kind of reminded me, like in business, like I think if we try, like on purpose, put ourselves into that spot and just realize, like, let's just imagine we're in the kitchen and there's these orders, and we just can't just go and relax. I think that's a good analogy because now, in this space that we're at now, the innovation curve, it's just like so fast. This year has been faster than any other year with AI, everything just innovating way fast. The people who get it, they are 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 steps ahead because of this technology, and we don't have a huge window. And if you don't apply the AI into your packages, you're going to be squeezed out. So I think everybody who's listening, you should kind of like think about like being that restaurant Friday night, you're taking orders, If you stop, you're going to be left behind. That's going to affect your reputation. You're not going to be able to fulfill, and then competition is going to chew you out really, really quick. I mean, Tony Robbins is doing, I mean, at the time of recording the podcast, it's already happened, but Tony Robbins and the other fella, Dean Graziosi, I think, they just put together the AI 3-day AI event. And that's not even like, I'm looking at the odds, I'm like, Tony Robbins is getting into this AI stuff. Like, so this guy gets it. Like, it's not even like he's been at this space for 20 years, motivational speaker. Now he's getting into this AI thing. Like, what the hell? But yeah, I mean, he gets it, because if you don't apply this for your business, for businesses that you serve, I reckon next year is really going to be showing the big divide of those businesses who haven't took action fast enough.
Yeah,
we don't
I
have
agree.
that luxury anymore.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing you said there when you were talking about the restaurant thing, and it occurred to me, like, this probably is the biggest thing I got from that, is like, and as somebody who tries to help other entrepreneurs achieve success and do stuff, people always ask me the question of like, yeah, but I just want to know, like, what do I do first? Then what do I do second? And then what do I do third? And like, what's the most important thing to focus on? And like, here's the thing. All of it is important, and you have to do all of it. And so in the restaurant business, you have to do all of it at the same time, right? Like, you can't just make one order and then go to the next and go, like, you've got to plate several things at one time. You've got to be like, and I hate the word multitasking, but it's the same thing in an entrepreneurial journey. Like, everything is important. Customer acquisition is important. Processes are important. Onboarding is important. Service after the sale is important. Like, you can't just do one, like, you have to make some kind of progress of these things at the same time. Like, if you're really good at acquiring customers, but you suck at fulfillment, like, you have to figure out fulfillment while you're acquiring customers. And once you're doing like, it all has to be kind of done together. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's messy. Yeah. Somebody said to me, embrace chaos. I hate it. I'm very much a perfectionist, but it is like that. I mean, there is a bit of an order, like what you should do first, because money's everything. And with money, you can buy labor and you can build a team, and then you can delegate. So that would be like definitely the first one. But I think it's important to spend a little bit of time and go slow at the beginning so that you can go fast later, like at least some bare minimum fulfillment process in place. I mean, we could be hanging out here for another 3 hours talking about this. I mean, there's so much that goes into it.
We could.
But yeah, Tom, I appreciate you being on, mate. I think we've really dived into this whole business directory. That's the most exciting thing I wanted to cover. And I think we got a ton of value from this for the listeners. I hope you guys been taking some notes. Tom, we're at the end. If you were to leave a last piece of advice for the guys listening, now would be a good time.
Don't let failure go to your head. That's what I would say. Don't let failure go to your head. Just keep going. I listen to this song. I have this playlist I play when I'm at the gym. There's one song on there, and one of the lyrics in one of the songs is, the only way to succeed is to try one more time. So I would just say, with all this new AI stuff, I know it seems a little overwhelming, like you're drinking from the fire hose, but just one little small action each day, moving in the right direction, that adds up over time, and just keep plugging forward. Don't let failure stop you.
And if it starts to creep up, guys, just think about it another way as well. You're either winning or you're learning.
Absolutely.
And with that, let's wrap it up. Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much for being on, mate. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode as well. If you've enjoyed today's episode, then please share it with your fellow agency mates and other high levelers that you think would benefit from listening. For show notes, tips and tricks on how to help you grow your agency or level up your SaaS, head over to HighLevel Experience Podcast.com. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day, everybody.